Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book Nudge, Improving Decisions About Health, Wealth, and Happiness. Think about this: when you dine with a friend who's a foodie, do you eat more? Will you make a smaller donation if you notice a suggested donation is $50 instead of $100? Do you always buy the extended warranty when you shop for appliances even if you will never use it? Do you think the death tolls from hurricanes, riots, or bird flu are higher than from asthma? In fact, our judgments and choices are often wrong because we are not as clear-minded as we imagine. We fall prey to prejudice, and our thought patterns are irrational. In the previous examples, an incoherent approach doesn't particularly matter, but if we don't know how to save for our retirement, how to choose the best school for our kids, or how to improve the environment, the wrong choices will have a negative impact on our lives. We need another perspective to help us avoid making incorrect decisions about these important issues. This is known as nudging. Today's Bookie will help you understand what nudging is and why you need it. One of the book's authors, Richard H. Thaler, is a pioneering economist in the fields of modern behavioral economics and behavioral finance. In 2017, he received the Nobel Prize for Economics. He is a professor of finance and behavioral economics at the University of Chicago Business School, presiding over the behavioral economics research work at the U.S. National Bureau of Economic Research. You can also listen into a Bookie of his Misbehaving: The Making of Behavioral Economics. The second author is Sunstein, the former director of the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs in the Obama administration. Both authors have conducted in-depth research on behavioral economics. Various public institutions have drawn on their research results as a framework for decision-making. Nudge was awarded the Financial Times and Amazon's Business Book of the Year and was Book of the Year in The Economist. In the following 3 chapters, we will explain how behavioral economics helps the government guide people in making sensible choices in the fields of health, wealth, education, and so on. Part 1: The Necessity of Nudges. Part 2: The 6 Principles of Good Choice Architecture. Part 3: Applying nudges in various situations. First, let's look at why we need to be nudged. Traditional economics holds that consumers and producers are always perfectly rational. The former acts to maximize their utility, and similarly, the latter always acts to maximize their profit. They are economic men, but in life, we know that such people are rare. Most people can't do 2-digit multiplication and division without a calculator, and they forget their loved one's birthday. Social beings may be wise, but they are not completely rational. Compared to economic man, their predictions often miss the mark. Nobel Laureate in economics Professor Herbert Simon once said that people have only bounded rationality, their thinking ability is limited. In the Bookie that introduced Thinking Fast and Slow by Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman, we noted that people have more than one cognitive system. One is rational based on awareness of surrounding conditions, the other is based on intuition and emotional responses. Traditional economists hold that people usually think rationally and make decisions wisely according to a plan. In fact, people often use intuition to make decisions because, just like instinct, it is quick and direct. However, intuitive thinking often involves bias. People are lazy and tend to maintain the status quo. This is a troublesome phenomenon, appropriately known as status quo bias. The author Sunstein encountered this issue in real life when he received a letter from American Express. He was offered 5 magazines free for 3 consecutive months, so he gladly chose the 5 magazines. But at the end of the 3 months, he kept receiving the magazines, and then he had to pay unless he canceled the subscription. In the end, for 10 years, he was charged for magazines that he barely ever read. He would have unsubscribed long ago if it wasn't for the status quo bias caused by intuitive thinking. Moreover, people's intuitive thinking makes them susceptible to temptation. Intuition makes everyone blind, even rational